Yes, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to this session of structural engineering design and detailing. In the previous class we had seen the design steps for plate girder. Today we'll be doing a problem. We'll be, as this was given in the previous question papers in 2016, in the university question paper this was given. Today we'll be dealing with this problem, so that hope it will be very clear for you all. Let us start with the problem. As in the step 1, we'll have to see what all is given. Here, I'll just read the question here. Design a simply supported welded plate girder. So this is a welded plate girder. It is not bolted or a riveted plate girder. 30 meters in span. The span is given as 30 meters and laterally restrained throughout. It has to support an UDL of 100 kilonewton per meter throughout the span. As I had told you, the load coming onto the plate girder is normally UDL only, but some cases you have some point loads also. Anyway, in this case we have only a UDL here of 100 kilonewton per meter throughout the span, exclusive of self weight. So self weight he has not given here. We'll have to assume the self weight. Use FE 410, that is ultimate stress as 410 and yield stress as 250. Grade steel. Use limit state design. So first we'll do what all he has given. We'll just write down that in the step 1. He has given the span as 30 meters and load, that is UDL. UDL is equal to 100 kilonewton per meter. So he has given the span and UDL, we have written that. As I had told you, he has not given the self weight of the girder. Here we'll be assuming the self weight of the girder as 150 kilonewton. Just see here, we'll have to assume this. Assume self weight of plate girder 150 kilonewton. Remember at this, we have to assume around 150 to 100 kilonewton here. So we have assumed it as 150. You have seen here, assume self weight of plate girder as 150 kilonewton. Now what we'll see is, we'll see per unit length how much will be the plate girder. Now the self weight of the plate girder, self weight of plate girder per unit length. We want it for per unit length. As we have 30 meter span, for each meter, how much we are getting, we'll see that. So it is 150 by 30. 150 by 30. We'll get it as 5 kilonewton per meter. So because of the self weight for each meter unit length, we are getting it as 5 kilonewton per meter. Span is 30 meter, UDL is 100 kilonewton per meter. We are assuming self weight of plate girder as 150 kilonewton here, and self weight of plate girder per unit length is 150 by 30, that is 5 kilonewton per meter. Now we will see what is the total load. Now total load will be, total load is equal to the UDL 100, UDL which is coming uniformly distributed load, that is coming, that is 100 plus this self weight, 100 plus 5, that is 105 kilonewton per meter. So understood, total load is UDL coming, that is 100 kilonewton per meter plus the self weight of plate girder per unit length. We have got it as 5 kilonewton per meter. We have just summed that up. Both of them have been added. 100 plus 5, that is 100 kilonewton per meter. We'll factor this load now, the factored load. Factored load is equal to 1.5 into 105. 1.5 into 105, we'll get it as around, it has been calculated, 157.5. 157.5. So this is the step 1. In what we have done is, we have written the data given. Span is 30 meters, UDL is 100 kilonewton per meter. We are assuming self weight of plate girders as 150 kilonewton. Then we are seeing self weight of plate girder per unit length. For each unit length, what are we getting the load? We have seen that is 150 by 30, that is 5 kilonewton per meter. Next, what we will see, the total load that is coming onto the girder, we are getting a UDL of 100 kilonewton plus the self weight per unit length, that is 5, that is 105 kilonewton per meter. So we are factoring it, that is 1.5 into 105, we are getting it as 157.5 kilonewton per meter. So hope this first step is clear for you all. Then we can go for the second step here. Second step. Yes, now we will see the step 2, that is step 2. If you remember, if you can see the design steps, you will remember what we will have to do. We will find the maximum bending moment, MU. So MU is equal to WL square by 8. As you know, this is a UDL, and for uniformly distributed load, you will get the maximum bending moment as WL square by 8. W we have got it as 157.5, and L we have as the span length, that is 30. Span length we have already as 30 meters. 157.5 into 30 square by 8. (157.5) into 30 square by 8, you must have calculated. Seen here, WL square by 8, 157.5 into 30 square by 8. W is the total load that we have got, and 30 is the span. We'll just calculate it. What is the value we are getting? 157.5 into 30 square divided by 8, we are getting it as 17718. This is the value 17718.75 kilonewton meter. Okay, this is what we have got. Next we will see what this is the maximum bending moment, and this is the MU. We will see what is the maximum shear force here. Maximum shear force is WL by 2. WL by 2. So that is 157.5 into 30 by 2. 157.5 into 30 by 2. We will just calculate that also. 157.5 into 30. We are getting it as 236.5 kilonewton. Okay, this is what we are getting, 2362.5 kilonewton. We have got maximum bending moment also, and we have got maximum shear force also. This is the step 2. Hope step 1 is very simple. We will be seeing what is the span and what is the UDL, and we are assuming the load of the plate girder. We are assuming self weight of plate girder. We have calculated what is the total load. Step 2, we are coming up with maximum bending moment. As for UDL, we have a bending moment of WL square by 8. We have just substituted these values, 157.5, and the span is 30 square by 8. We have got this value MU as 17718.75 kilonewton meter, and maximum shear force we are getting it as WL by 2, that is 157.5 into 30 by 2, and we have calculated it. We have got that as 2362.5. Now we will see for the next step what will be the step 3. We will see now. See what is step 3 now. Let us see the step 3. Step 3 is design of web. We will be designing the web plate now. In design of web plate, first we will see what is the depth. And depth of web is being given by the formula, by the equation. D is equal to mu into k by fy to the power of 0.33. You can see here D, depth of web. You can write it as dw. Depth of web is mu into k by fy to the power of 0.33. Mu is, what is this? Mu is this moment what we have got, that is 17718.75. This is mu. Fy is yield stress, that is 250 here, 250. Now K is constant here. K is the constant term here. We can take either 100 or 150 or 180, whatever it is. We can take, it depends on what we want to take. Now here we will be taking as K is equal to 180 mm or 150 mm. Okay. Here you must have understood here 180 mm or 150 mm or 100. It depends on whatever it is. Hope it is clear till here now. Hope it is clear. So here we will be taking K value as 150 mm. It can be taken as 100 or 150 or 180, but here we will be taking K as mu. You can see here it is 177 18.75 kilonewton meter this is, and Fy value is 250, and K will be taking, as this is constant, we will be taking it as 150 here. Okay, we will be taking mu, we have got this, Fy is 250 Newton per mm square and K is 150. We will be changing this mu also into Newton per mm square. I will just substitute this values here. D is equal to 17718.75 into 10 to the power of 6 into 150 by 250 to the power of 0.33. Okay, mu is 17718.75 into 10 to the power of 6 into 150 by 250 to the power of 0.33. We'll just calculate it. 17718.75 into 10 to the power of 6 into 150 I am getting that value as 2035.9. So depth I have got it as 2035.9 mm. So approximately I'll just make it a round figure of 2036 mm. Okay, this is the depth of the web what I have got, that is 2036. I have just put mu value here 17718.75 to 10 to the power of 6 into 150. K I has taken as constant as 150 and Fy is 250 to the power of 0.33. I have got that value as 2035.9 mm. I have rounded it to 2036 mm. Okay, hope this is clear till here. We will see next what is the thickness of the web. This is the depth of the web. We will be seeing the thickness of the web. We will be seeing this is the depth of the web. We will be seeing the thickness of the web now. You can see here to find out the thickness of the web, this is the formula, mu by Fy into K square to the power of 0.33. For finding the depth of the web, we had formula mu into K by Fy to the power of 0.33. This is simple change is there, the K is coming down, it is getting squared to the power of 0.33. We will just substitute the same values and we will see what is the thickness of the web we are getting. As you know, mu is 17718.75 into 10 to the power of 6. I am converting this kilonewton meter into Newton per mm square. By Fy is 250 as we know, and K square is 150 we have taken to the power of 0.33. Okay. Now the thickness of the web we will just calculate it. We are getting the thickness of the web as 250 into 150 square, 17718.75 into 10 to the power of 6 by 250 into 150 square to the power of 0.33. I am getting this value as 14.27. 14.27 is the thickness what I am getting. 14.27 mm this is. Okay. I'll just I'll round it to 16 mm. 16 mm. Okay, so the thickness of the web we have got it as, now we have got the depth of the web as 2036 and thickness of the web as 16 mm. So basically, if this is your I section, so this part is 2036 and this part, this thickness of the web, we are getting it as 16 mm. So we have designed the web here, we have got this depth of the web as 2036 and thickness of the web as 16 mm. So this is the third step, design of the web. We have designed the web. Now we will be designing the flange here in the next step. We will be designing flange here. Let's go to next step. Now we will be seeing the next step, we will be designing the flange now. Let us see the step 4. Hope till here everything is clear. We have taken the loads coming onto the girder. Total loads we have assigned. Now what we had done is, we have seen the maximum bending moment coming onto the girder. Design of flange plate. Then we had designed the web plate. We have designed the depth as well as the thickness of the web plate. Now here what we will be doing, we will be seeing the design of the flange plate. The breadth of the flange plate, you can say breadth or width, breadth of flange plate BF is being given by 1/3 times of dW, depth of web, 1/3 times of depth of web. I'll just put those values here. 1/3 of into depth of web is 2036. 2036, 1/3 into 2036. I'll just calculate that value. 678.6 I'm getting it as 678.6. You can just check it here, 671.6. I'll just equal it to the value. You can see here BF is 1/3 of 2036. You can just see this step here. Okay, you must have understood till here, 1/3 of 2036. So this is the value of 671.6. I'll just equal it to 672 mm. So this is the breadth of flange what I have got. Now we'll decide what should be the thickness of the flange. For that thickness, first we'll have to find out the area of the flange. From that area of the flange, we can get the thickness of the flange. Let us see that now. We'll just see it here now. So area of flange, we'll have to calculate the thickness of the flange, we'll have to first know the area of the flange, and the area of the flange is given by the equation AF is equal to mu by Fy into dW minus of area of web by 6. You can see here mu by Fy into dW minus AW by 6. We'll just substitute these values. Mu value we know that 177. It is given in the equation 177.75 into 10 to the power of 6 by Fy is 250 as we know. dW is depth of the web, we are getting it as 2036, depth of the web 2036 minus of area of the web. Area of the web means the depth of the web, that is 2036 into 16 mm what we had got. So this is 2036 into 16 mm by 6. We'll just calculate this value. You can calculate this value and tell me also what is the value of this. 177.8 point into 10 to the power of 6. What is the value? 34810.9. You can just calculate it again. You can see here. Just. So this value is 177.8.75 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by 250 into 2036 minus of 2036 by into 16 by 6. I am getting this value as 29.38 into 10 cube mm square. 29.38. So this is the area of flange. See, area is thickness of the flange into breadth of the flange. We have breadth of the flange. We want to know thickness of the flange. We'll just take this area of the flange. See, as you can say, AF is equal to BF into TF. BF is breadth of the flange and thickness of the flange. Now we want to find out what is thickness of the flange. So what we'll see here, AF is equal to BF into TF. TF, thickness of the flange, is equal to AF by breadth of the flange. AF, what we have got it as 29.38 into 10 cube by breadth of the flange, we had got it as 672. We had got it as 672. You can just calculate this and you can see what is the answer you are getting. 29.38 divided by 672, you are getting it as 43.72. 43.72 will equal it to 44. 44 mm. Okay, fine. Now we have got this as 43.72. I am just equaling it to 44. Now we have got the size of the flange as, you can just see here, size of the flange. This is the size of the flange of 672, and this we have got it as 44 mm. We have got the size of the web, that is 2036 was the depth, and the thickness of the web was 16 mm. We have got this size of the flange. I'll just mark all the values here. It will be clear to you. This part is 16 mm. This is also 44. .672. Okay, fine. Now we have designed the web, we have designed the flange also. We have designed everything. Now we'll have to see further what are the checks involved. We have to see further. Okay, hope this is clear till here. So okay, flange has been, we have found out what is the size of the flange, and we have found out what is the depth of the web also. But here you can see here, this is 44 mm. The thickness of the flange is 44 mm. But practically a 44 mm sheet can't be welded. It is not possible. So what we'll do is we'll just convert this 44 into a number of plates. For that, what we'll do, we'll provide one plate of 14 mm and 3 plates of 10 mm. One plate will be providing of 14 mm, this will be 14 mm, and the other 3 plates will be of 10 mm. We'll provide one plate of 14 mm and 3 plates of 10 mm. Okay. Hope till here everything is clear. Now we'll have to check for shear, whether it is safe in shear and safe in flexure also. So next step 5 we'll do. What is check for low shear or high shear? We'll see that check now. So the next step what we'll have to see is whether we'll have to check for, we'll have to see whether the web can withstand shear or no, and we'll have to check for flexure also. We'll check that. We'll just see that these two next steps here. This is a step 5. We'll have to check for low or high shear. We'll have to see whether it can, whether it is safe in shear or no. For this now we need a code book. In page 53, a clause has been given. You can see this. In page 53, you can see the clause number 8.2.1.2, where it has been mentioned here, VU should be less than or equal to 0.6 times of VD. This is in page 53. Clause you can see 8.2.1.2. So this is here, it says when the factor design shear force does not exceed 0.6 times of VD, 0.6 times of VD, if it does not exceed, then he has given here in the page 59. In page 59 he has given what is VD. VD is the design strength. You have to just check the page in page 59 also. VD has given it as design strength, and VD has been given by Vn by gamma m0. You can, if you must have seen the design steps in the previous session, you will get a clear picture because I had written everything in sequence there. So VD is equal to Vn by gamma m0. Gamma m0 is a partial safety factor, but Vn has been given by Vp. Vn is equal to Vp, and Vp is equal to Fy W into Aw by root 3. You can see here, we'll have to first find out what is Vp, that is the normal plastic shear resistance under pure shear, that is given by Vn is equal to Vp. Now Vp is when given by Fyw Aw by root 3. Now what is Fy? Fy is the yield stress in web, that is 250, Aw is area of the web, and by root 3. We'll just put these values here and we'll see what we are getting as Vp. Vp is equal to Fy is 250, area of the web is 2036 into 16 by root 3. We'll just calculate this value here. 250 into 2036 into 16 divided by root 3. I am getting this value as 4.7 into 10 to the power of 6. I am getting this value as 4.7 into 10 to the power of 6. Okay, here now what is, this is Vp, what we have got. Now what is Vp? Vp is Vn, but Vd is equal to Vn by gamma m0. Vp is equal to Vn, but Vd is equal to Vn by gamma m0. Gamma m0 is a partial safety factor. It has been given in the page 30. You can see gamma m0 value, partial safety factor. You can see the table there. In the table it has been mentioned here, resistance governed by yielding gamma m0 is 1.1. So basically we'll have to see what is the resistance against yielding. As I had explained you all in the previous lectures, web undergoes yielding also and buckling as well. For that it has been given, the value as given as 1.1. In page 30 table 5 it has been given here 1.1. You can see here 1.1. Page 30 table 5 it has been. We'll just substitute that value here, 4.7 into 10 to the power of 6 by 1.1. You will get some value, 4.7 into 10 to the power of 6 divided by 1.1. Answer divided by 1.1. I am getting the value as 4.27 into 10 to the power of 6. Okay? 4.27 into 10 to the power of 6. But this value is only Vd. What do we want? 0.6 times of Vd. I'll just 0.6 times of Vd. This is Vd is equal to, just multiply 0.6 into 4.27. I am getting the value as 2.56 into 10 to the power of 6. So 2.56 into 10 to the power of 6 will be 2560 into 10 cube Newton. So this is 0.6 times of Vd. Now what does the clause says is Vu should be less than or equal to 0.6 times of Vd. Vu should be less than 0.6 times of Vd. After calculating what is the Vu value, in the previous we had got Vu value as 2362.5. So Vu is equal to 2362.5. So 2362.5 is less than 2560. Okay, if this is in Newton, you convert it into kilonewton, it will be 2560, and this is also in kilonewton to Vu, and this is 0.6 times the Vd. So this is safe in shear. So it is safe in shear. You must have understood till here now. It was very easy in the first step what we had seen. In the first step we had seen what are the details he had given. He had given the span, he had given the UDL, and the self weight was not given. We had assumed the self weight as 150. For per unit length we had calculated, we had totaled the load of the UDL as well as the self weight, and then what we had done, in the next step we had found out the maximum bending moment, that is WL square by 8, and next maximum shear force is WL by 2, that was MD and VU, which will be used later on. Then the next step, third step, we had calculated the design of web, in which we had found out the depth of the web. The depth of the web was given by mu into K by Fy to the power of 0.33. K I had told you we will have to assume it as 100 or 150 or 180. Here I had assumed it as 150. After putting those values, D I got it as 2036, and then I had found out what is the thickness of the web also. That I got it as around 16 mm. Then after that I had gone for design of flange. Design of flange was the breadth of the flanges 1/3 of depth of the web. I got it as around 672 somewhat I got it as. Next then I calculated the thickness of the flange also. I got it as 44. As I had told you, 44 is a very thick plate. It can't be welded easily. So for that what we have done, we had just divided those plates into number of plates. One plate was of 14 mm and the rest 3 were of 10 mm each. So we provided one plate of 14 mm at the bottom and the rest 3 of 10 mm each after that. Now we had completed that step. After that step we had to see whether our web and our flange, can it resist shear and flexure. For that we had done this first check, that is for the check for low or high shear. In page 53 a clause has been given where it is given the Vu, that is the maximum shear force. This is a maximum shear force, should be less than or equal to 0.6 times of Vd. In page 53 and further in page 59, Vd has been given as the design strength, and that is given by Vd is equal to Vn by gamma m0. Gamma m0 is the partial safety factor, that is resistance against yielding. In page 30 it has been given as 1.5. Now Vn is equal to Vp, and Vp is, what is Vp? Fyw into Aw by root 3. Fy is the yield stress, that is 250, and Aw is area of web. I have just substituted those values here. 250 into 2036 into 16 by root 3. I have got that value as 4.7 into 10 to the power of 6. Now what is Vp? Vp is equal to Vn. Now what is Vd? Vd is equal to Vn by gamma m0. Vn is, we got it from here, 4.7 into 10 to the power of 6 by gamma m0. As I had told you, it is partial safety factor, resistance against yielding. In page 30 table 5 it has been given as 1.1. I have just substituted these values. I have got Vd as 4.27 into 10 to the power of 6. Okay, 0.6 into Vd, we have got it as 2.56 into 10 to the power of 6. 25, that is 2560 into 10 cube Newton, that is in Newton. I have just converted that into kilonewton. From the previous first step we had got this value of Vu as 2362.5 kilonewton. This is kilonewton, you don't get confused here. And this value also, you just convert Newton to kilonewton, 10 cube will go off and this will become 2560 kilonewton. So 2362.5 is the Vu, which is less than 2560. So finally this web is safe in shear. So till here it is, hope it is clear. Next we'll check how is it safe in flexure also. Hope this step is clear for you all. So hope this is clear till here. The rest, there are some more steps where we'll check for flexure also. We'll do curtailment of flange plates also. And then what we'll do is, we'll go for design of connection between flange and web. Then next we'll have to go even for the design of weld also. What type of weld should be done. So all these steps are very much important, and that will be covered in the next session. Thanks a lot. I request all of you all to please cover, go to this session. Then it will be very helpful for you all in the next session to understand this subject. Thanks a lot. We'll finish this session now. Thank you.